How's everybody doing today? Let's go. Got a lot to go over, man. New lawsuit again. I mean, you guys can tell when they're scared, when they're sitting there suing the s.e.c. now left and right. You got market makers and lawsuits with them. Now you got hedge funds getting into it. We'll get into that in a second. It's going to get interesting here. We're going to go into a lot of Ken Griffin here today. Very interesting things by him the last week. But gosh, I think starting to crumble, man. There's a lot of signs going on that are looking way in our favor. We'll get into it 1 second. I'm just going to let some people jump in. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. Move my stuff so I can see here. Alrighty, let's get into this action. I'm just going to start here. I don't want to wait too long. So, first thing we're going to get into is we're just going to have a little fun here first to start this off before we get into everything. But we got the French farmers, and these French guys are throwing shit all over their government building. This is how we take a stand, people. We got a plan here. We're going to rent some tractors, get a whole bunch of shit, support our local farmers, say we need a lot of cow poop. Let's get out there. Let's start dumping it and throwing it out there, guys. This is the way. But I just thought this was pretty funny. I mean, eventually, if this stuff doesn't collapse, we got to get out there and do something here, because this is, a lot of this shit's getting fucking ridiculous. I'm excited to see what happens here with that swap we saw the other day. I'm sure they'll probably roll it over or something, but we'll see what happens. But still, the thing is even if you roll that over, what the hell is the cost of that to roll over? Like, somebody's got to be paying a handsome penny here, because, I mean, the more I looked into those swaps, the more none of it made sense. I mean, it wasn't the notional value. Some had that as there, and it wouldn't be a placeholder because you would have the same placeholder value. You wouldn't have multiple values as a max cap value. So, I mean, we'll see what happens there next week. But if nothing happens, I wouldn't be surprised. But according to the way things work, somebody should be having to pay a pretty fucking penny here. But let's get into this. AMC did their offering. They finished their offering up. They paid down $62 million in debt. They raised $350 million. They also did a private offering for 1.6 million shares. And they got that at $12,275,000 for that. So a total price of around I think it was $8.19. What the hell was it? It was $8.19 per share. Now I know a lot of people I'm mad as fuck about the price. I mean, obviously, we all sit here, we want to be raising capital. We should be able to raise capital. This shit's a complete joke. And I know exactly what would have happened here if he went to raise it at this point, because I'm sitting here looking over at Q4 here. If you look at Q4, we're at 1.3 billion. We're at half of what we were last quarter, half of what we were at the quarter before that. So what they were going to do here, and I mean, we still have some great movies coming out. What was it? We got Wonka, we got Aquaman, we got Ferrari. So we will still get another giant spike in this. I mean, we should end around, I think we're going to end, honestly, right around Q1 numbers, to be honest with you. We're going to have distribution rights and all that, so we're going to make a little more than, obviously, we did in Q1. We also had that improved seat pricing, and we didn't have that in Q1, so we will have a better, earnings than we did in Q1. But I guarantee they would have used this, looked over and been like, oh, man, they took a hit here, and the reason I believe box office did so bad, I mean, this is one of the things that a lot of people were like talking about the writer's strike and how it was no big deal. Well, this is where it became a big deal. Dune 2 would have drastically boosted these. I mean, it was supposed to be the #1 movie of the year, so it would have drastically jumped and helped these numbers. But I guarantee what they would have done is they would have dropped the price, and they would have said, oh, look at the movie, stop, man, blah, 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 it sucks. And then at the end of the day, they wouldn't have looked at the overall big picture here as well. Next year is when, I mean, we've been saying it forever, next year is when we should start seeing profits, very good profits. The movie selection, quality of movies, the movie selection compared to this year is night and day. You no longer have a writer's strike. Everything going forward for AMC, we've went over countless times how much better it is next year compared to this year. Obviously, we're getting debt paid down as well. Well, if you look at how the movies in the box offices are growing each year, if it continues at the rate that it's going next year, we'll be back at 2019 levels. Hopefully we get back towards 2018 levels. But one of the reasons I think that, this quarter was a lot lower, a lot of people are struggling. A lot of people have been sitting there living off these these credit cards, and now you have Christmas coming. So a lot of people are, having to decide, do I want to go and have fun this month, or do I want to go out and, get some Christmas presents? So unfortunately, this is a lot lower than what I wanted it to be, what I expected it to be. And like I said, this is when that writer strike definitely came and hurt us here. But I don't think we're going to be profitable this quarter. Maybe not. I mean, we'll see what happens with the merchandise. I mean, I don't know about the distribution and all that. We'll see what all happens. But I can see they were going to use this to smash the price down. So he raised it right now when he thought before, as he saw, we were going to have a lower quarter. But like I said, next year, get through your survive. Next year, you thrive. So short term, yeah, this sucks ass. But long term, in the play, in everything that we're going to get into here, you guys, these dudes, a lot of people sit there and it's like, God, they fall for self-reported numbers, and it blows my fucking mind. Like, okay, how many times, even in the how many times, even in the last year, now think about this. I just want you to think about this before we even get into anything. How many times in the last year have we read a case, okay? Goldman Sachs, March shorts as longs, did it for millions of orders, but they don't tell you how many stocks are in those orders, how many shares. How many companies, how many firms are out there mismarking shit left and right, all of them, like fucking crazy. And to the point of numbers where it's unbelievable. And then when they get caught, here's my question, and here's the thing that we all probably wonder inside. Okay, if I got caught doing that, technically I should have to buy those shares back, correct? And then those stock prices should move. But whenever you hear news of this shit, of these people mismarking tickets, no stocks ever suddenly jump on this news. So it's like, do they even buy these fuckers back? Or do you just fine them? What is the repercussions here? Do they just repay the fine and then you tell them, hey, I never see in the agreement or in the fine it says, hey, they had to cover the mismarking or they had to correct the issue. It always says the same exact thing. We told them to update the coding in their software to prevent this in the future. But then they just say it every single time, oh, it's a different error. Oh, crazy. Well, just update your coding and pay a fine. And that's what it seems to be every time. Update your coding and pay a fine. Well, fuck this news. Who cares? Paramount's about to lay off 1,000 employees. You see another one of our competitors. They're also having repercussions. You're seeing streaming going left and right, joining together, laying off employees. Everybody's getting hit from that writer strike because those guys were fucking greedy douchebags. But anyways, back to this. Back to what I'm talking about with this. Back what I'm talking about with transparency with hedge funds as well. Now, it gets very interesting. We're going to look at a two-part story here. Today, this came out. Hedge funds are now suing the s.e.c. over short selling rules in wake of meme stock mania. Huh. God damn it. So, I'm going to go ahead and link this shit here quick. We always like to put the links in to the people that, join here quick. Go ahead and look at this. They're saying that they don't want, basically, the new hedge funds rules. They don't want to do any of this because it will reveal confidential information about their trading techniques and their strategies. And the way that they do all this stuff and what they currently have and blah, blah, blah. They don't want to have the transparency. The s.e.c. approved these rules in October. And now they're suing the s.e.c. and they're saying, you guys need to stop this. Well, it's very interesting timing, don't you think? Because if you look over here at the top, this came out also. Short sellers now have paper losses of $106 billion this year. I know we're fucking hurting. I know people look at this shit. And I know they see this and they go, my portfolio is down and I'm fucked and everything's fucked. They're also from last year, they were profitable nearly $300 billion. Well, now they're negative $106 billion on these paper losses. These guys, they're fucking bleeding too. They're hurting too. Now they're suing the s.e.c. because they know this would fuck them over. Who else is suing the s.e.c.? The market makers. Why? Because if they get that auction ruling in, it kills payment for order flow. And what else does it do? It gives complete transparency to at least the funds and everybody in there that is in the market betting on the auction house, because it's hard for Citadel to sit there and use internalizers on orders, steal all the, because what do? We talked about the rebate system. If they take out that rebate system with Citadel and now they use it in an auction house, Citadel doesn't have the advantage that they did. Yes, they can go ahead and say, I want all of these orders in the auction house. Sure, they can control the auction house in a way, control the price, because they can still bid on all the orders and take a majority. But by doing that, you're also opening up that information to everybody. Transparency's out there. They're no longer able to say, well, we'll do all the shady shit behind closed doors, because all of a sudden that information is out there on what they're actually bidding on. So this auction house that they're sitting there go, payment for order flows, no big deal. And then next thing you notice, what happens? A month or two later, we're suing the s.e.c. over the auction house rules. Why? Doug Sifu tried to talk shit to me. Think about this. Me and Doug Sifu talked every day. It was every day the guy would come on and I would talk shit about the same thing. Hey, I bet you're going to have a fucking criminal case on these two things coming up, aren't you, buddy? The iron workers, and then I guarantee, boom, you're going to go after him over the lawsuit, over these new rules, and, payment for us, no big deal. Next thing you notice, he's suing him over the auction house. He doesn't want it. Next thing you notice, he's in a lawsuit with the iron fucking workers because he fucking stole from them hundreds of millions of dollars. People think that the big old Doug Seafood here, who's, always munching, we see him over there piling with Gary. He's just a little pawn. He's Vincent Viola's little bitch. He's his bottom. He comes in, he just pounds on Doug over the CEO desk, right over the table in the boardroom. And then he takes his company and just does criminal activities with it and then walks out the boardroom. And Doug, he just said, thank you, come back. And then they go buy, and then he goes and he buys a hockey team with them. That's all he is. Doug's just a little bitch. And now that he's in lawsuits, he can't talk about it because I'm going to keep on throwing out on the information. He can't rebuttal it. What's he going to say? You're a fucking criminal. So all these guys are now looking over going, fuck. They're still holding. We're all running to the same hill. I showed you guys, they're all running to the same hill. They're all running into the Mag 7. They're all in the Magnificent 7. They're all in those 7 stocks. They're all running to the same fucking hill. And now they're already taking paper losses. So now, when they all start jumping off that fucking hill, now their assets are going down. Now they're going to take huge asset losses. They're all on the same fucking hill. Who's going to be the first to jump off the fucking hill? And when all of a sudden, and we already saw the Mag 7, the cap is going down. They're already starting to run away. So now what? Now the s.e.c. is like, all right, we're going to get these rules. And they're like, fuck. A lot of way of criminality, a lot of way of their bullshit is fucking coming to an end. I hate the s.e.c. They're fucking trash. They take their sweet fucking time. And of course they water shit down. And of course they put in rules and then they fucking change them. But there's a lot of mechanical rules. And that's the thing. They can change it, but there's a lot of these main mechanical rules. Like the aspect of the mechanical. If you're having an auction house rule, you can't sit there. And Citadel can't sit there and hide and just confiscate without the rebate system. Take all the orders without everybody fucking understanding that and knowing that. And that's key. So there are key things, but of course they're going to water shit down. They're going to give the fucking tool bags their exemptions. I'm not sitting there saying the s.e.c.'s coming in to save us. I'm not sitting there, but they are going to sit there and fucking destroy some of their main revenue sources. And that's huge. Fuck them. Fuck all of these criminals. Here's the thing. I know you guys have heard this video, but we're just going to go ahead and dissect this quick because I just want people... We now understand what he's talking about. So you're going to listen to him just from his point of view, and then we're going to go over it from what we now understand exactly what the fucking tool bag is saying.
And that markets are efficient because of active managers setting the prices of securities. Firms like Citadel. That markets are efficient because of active managers setting the prices of securities. Firms like Citadel, firms like Fidelity, firms like Viking Global, Capital Research. We're all running large teams of people that are engaged in fundamental research, trying to drive the value of companies towards where we think they should be valued. Trying to drive the value of companies towards where we think they should be valued. And passive investment.
So what this tool bag is basically saying, first of all, is he's saying, he goes, well, we have such a giant, and this is what I'm talking about, that people don't understand. In a sense, he's saying, don't just think it's Citadel. He's trying to plant this in people's minds. It's not just Citadel. There's tons of big firms out there. And he's finger pointing. He's naming people off. If I go down, you fuckers, you're doing the same shit. We'll let everyone know. And he's sitting there, and now what he's trying to say in his terms is, hey, these other firms do the same thing. And we set the prices to what we think we should be at. And the way that we do that is we get such massive firms together, and we have such great teams, and we control such giant aspects of the market that we can just short things down and do whatever we pretty much fucking want. He's doing what they said in The Big Short. Why is he confessing? He's not. He's bragging. He's telling you, I can do whatever. He's basically saying, with the ability, with me and my buddies here, we can sit there and we control the order flows. We get all your fucking orders. And then together, we can, because we control such great things. And the way we can, what is efficient for our market? It's how we can control prices, short the fuck out of these dumbass people, that apes and retail investors, how we can steal from them and give our great returns. Because we can just control together, doing what? Market manipulation by colluding with other fucking firms and using our teams and algos to boom, 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 and slam them down to where we efficiently think they should be priced at. Hey, piece of shit, markets should not work by how you and a group of piece of fucking trash fucking criminals can collude the price down while you're taking my order at this price, colluding it the fuck down, and then filling it and taking whatever's in between while charging these fuckers rebate fees. Fuck off. You are a fucking piece of trash criminal, and guess what, dude? Your day's fucking coming. Your day's coming, and there's interesting signs, guys. Because when Ken Griffin comes out, and Ken Griffin starts pointing and naming off motherfuckers, whoa. Now, you got this going on. So, they come out, they're like, oh man, fuck yeah. Citadel Securities revenue, it jumps up to $1.8 billion on volatility. Well, it's pretty interesting. Well, I got this down. You can go to the way back. If you guys ever want to get around the paywall, just go back to the way back machine. I thought I had it fucking already up, but whatever. I'll just show you the key point on this part anyways. And then I have the other part on the next thing. So one of the things that I thought is pretty fucking interesting, in this 1.8 billion in revenue, these motherfuckers had there was a new figure, right? It was part of a loan. Since when the hell do I take a loan and count it as fucking revenue? Oh, we're killing it. We got 1.8 billion, and then we took a $400 million fucking loan. Now it gets interesting when you break down this loan. Now, if Citadel's this giant fucking global, massive, just powerhouse, just raking in the fucking cash, why are there fucking bonds? Read this. Citadel Security launched a $400 million loan on Monday. Now listen to this. This is key because this all comes into a story. This all ties into some shit in the next day. So Citadel on Monday goes, I need a $400 million loan. Okay, remember that's key amount, key day. Now these proceeds are going to be used for corporate purposes like trading capital, new debt, which holds the lowest rung of investment grade rating. So basically, we have the lowest rated bond investment, so right before junk, the lowest rated bond that they say is investable. Right before junk. Why is Citadel rated that fucking low? Now think about it this way as well. 400 million. Okay? Now, if you guys look over here, we'll get into all this in a second. Remember those numbers, okay? Remember the 400 million. Remember this key shit down here, because this is key too. Just remember this last fucking sentence. It will be used for new debt, trading capital, same shit, okay? We're going to get into this in a minute. Now, the next day, it's fucking Tuesday, right? Tuesday, Ken Griffin comes up and he goes, I'm donating 400 million. So this is the next fucking day. I'm donating 400 million to one of the giant cancer centers. Now we're going to break this cancer center down in a second. So, if you read the last line of this article in Bloomberg, so on Monday he raises it, Tuesday he pledges it. Now look at what he says here. Investors must decide by Wednesday. I need the fucking capital by Wednesday. Now this is out by Bank of America's leading this. So it's like they're issuing the bond, and it's going to be pretty much Bank of America's issuing a bond for Citadel at basically junk fucking rating. Now they're telling the participants, we need the money up to 400 million by Wednesday. Okay, now you understand that. I should have done that right away to make it more clear. Sorry, I apologize. Now, it says Citadel also currently has 3.54 billion. So you add the 400 million, because this will be added to the companies already existing. So Citadel should be up to 3.94 billion in debt on loans. So now on Wednesday, they need the money after he pledges it. Now who the fuck does he pledge it to? Because here's the thing. Ken Griffin comes out. Now this is why I fucking hate these pieces of shit. So everything with this fucking guy now, it's about... When you're trying to do image repair, listen, when you're pointing fingers, when you're trying to do image repair, when you're sitting there going, oh, I'm going to, Bill Gates, think Bill Gates and all this shit, when all the bad things come down, what did Bill Gates do? He donated $2 billion, but who did he donate it to? Or $8 billion, but who did he donate it to? His own fucking charity. But everybody forgave him, and everyone's, oh, what a great guy. Because he gave himself money and wrote it off his taxes. What a fucking great guy. Now, this piece of shit, because he says, oh man, I give it to these guys because the cancer research, because I care about cancer and all this. Well, that's pretty funny when last year, let's read this article together. Citadel Securities, Susquehanna, fucking all of the good people, Virtue, all the pieces of shit. Guess what they were doing? Spoofing a fucking cancer research development. So they were fucking them up. They were attacking them, not letting them raise capital, trying to issue them bonds. What's that called? Predatory lending. Citadel 101. Corruption 101. And guess what? All this does is develop cancer treating vaccines. So they look over and go, if these guys get farther in their research, they might have a fucking groundbreaking thing. So we got to go fuck them up. We got to go fuck them up. We can't let them raise the capital. And then we're going to try and predatory lend them. Give them shitty fucking rates, convertible notes. We need your fucking research. We need your capital. And we're going to spoof the fuck out of your company. We're going to fucking short and distort it. We're going to you know, all the good stuff. So the guy obviously clearly he cares about fucking cancer research, right? No. So it's either he needs the money. Now he's doing this as a tax write-off, but who the fuck is he giving this to? Because we'll get into this research center in a second, but I wanted to point something out here. So last year, he sold off a part of his business. He sold off a part of his fucking business. Never happened before, okay? Now look at this. Then, last year, he also did. Now remember that sentence I told you guys about. Then last year, Citadel Security borrows $600 million in strong demand from lenders. And every time they go, there's giant volatility, so we needed the fucking revenue. We needed to borrow money. We need to borrow money. See, remember? See what this article says? Oh man, they're killing it. It's giant volatility, so they had to borrow fucking money. Okay. And there's tons of volatility, so they have to borrow money at a shitty bond rating, pay a giant interest rate, because, hey, revenue's obviously killing it for them. So, before we get into that, but if you guys notice, the amounts that he keeps getting for the exact purposes, do you guys notice the amounts? They keep shrinking, and then they keep shrinking, and then they keep shrinking. And then each time, if you look at the bond rating on each one of the loans, on the debt, each one gets worse, and then it gets worse, and Citadel's bonds get worse. And what's going to happen next year when they are complete junk? Not even, you know, what happens if all of a sudden they're junk bonds? Now what the fuck? Like I said, Citadel They want to sit there and paint this massive story and everything. Well, then why are you taking fucking loans out at shit interest rates? Why would you pay that if everything's so hunky-dory? Why is it less? If you're like, fuck, the more capital raise on volatility, I can do this and do this and do this and do this. Why aren't more people jumping at the gun? Why aren't more people looking over and going, hey, we got to fucking jump at this? Obviously, it's a great opportunity. Interesting. You're only able to get approved by Bank of America for $400 million this time. Huh. But let's get to this cancer center thing. So we obviously established this guy don't give a fuck. He ain't giving no fucks about cancer research. So who is he giving it to? Now, pretty interesting here. When you look at this cancer research, it's considered the best. It's one of the best ever. But you gotta look at it and go, how the fuck did it start? It started by the Rockefellers. Oh, crazy. So just the banking dynasty fucking empire. In 1934, his kid, John D. Rockefeller, his kid, donated the land. And then he gave him $3 million, which was equivalent to $63.6 million in today's time. So basically, he gave it to a Rockefeller bank. A Rockefeller Cancer Research Center. Huh. So, just a banking dynasty. Rockefeller brothers. They're looking over here. They're at their fucking thing right over here talking about... So, he's giving it to a Rockefeller Cancer Research facility. Like, okay. It just happens to be tied to one of the biggest fucking, banking dynasties. Is this real? So, in other words, if you guys read this here too, it's kind of interesting. So, he goes over here. What the God, I can't believe I always lose this shit. So he goes over here and listen to this. They fucked we went over here and we fucked this cancer firm up for at least hundreds of millions of dollars. And then we took these hundreds of millions of dollars and we donated it into a Rockefeller-funded cancer research center. Good job. Good job. Fuck yeah. So, there's always a twist when these pieces of shit like Bill Gates, Ken Griffin, they talk about, oh man, I just did this fucking donation. Yeah, it's because you're a fucking criminal. Now, where in the hell is this article? Hold on. So it talks about... Where's fucking loser ass Ken Griffin? Here it is. So it talks about Ken Griffin. Now, back to him trying to cover his image after he just pointed the fingers out on everybody and everything as well here. So Ken Griffin's given $1.6 billion. Now let's look at what he's given it to. He's given $300 million to Harvard's... Oh, Harvard? You mean the people that are in fucking all this scrutiny right now? Great job. Great place to give it to. Their art and science? Well, guess what? Ken Griffin is known for money laundering through fucking art. Crazy. He's a big art enthusiast. Well, yeah, if you look at it, art's like the number one fucking way to launder money. Crazy. He just loves art. No way. So... where else is he going? Now he did it to the University of Chicago, but guess what? It's now named for him. Chicago Museum Science and Industry. Well, guess what? It's now going to be named after Ken Griffin next year. Huh. So he's basically just putting his name on everything. He's donating, buying up fucking everything. He's given Museum of Art Collections $150 million, probably because they help him launder his fucking art. Huh? Well, I'm not going to say anything about the medical school, because good. I mean, that I'm never going to complain, but it's like, we all know these medical's like the biggest fucking scam in the United States. We already saw that cancer cure is coming over from China, and in China it's affordable, but it's going to cost 30 times the price in America. Yeah, we know, because America's fucking health insurance health care system is a bigger scam than fucking the banking system. But we'll get into that later. I mean, I've already covered that long time ago, but it's like, Christ, dude. So now he also gives it to, so let's see here, to furnish some new fucking Lincoln Center, some new home are now going to be named after him as well. So basically, he's trying to buy up everything, put his name all over everything, and being like, dude, look, I own half of Chicago. My name's on fucking half of Chicago. I know it is. Good job, dude. You're a fucking piece of shit. Like I said, and it's all tax write-offs, and he's got to get, like I said, this is all him just trying to cover up his fucking name, dude. Like I said, why are you have junk bonds now? Why is your loan amount becoming less and less and less? That's not very much. There's not very many people it's like watching, it's like when we watch the government bonds. Did you just see the last treasury auction, you guys? Did you just see that? There was no one in it. There was like, no one wants it. No one wants your trash. No one wants your government shit. No one gives a fuck. It's all garbage. No one wants it. Why? You're just garbage. You won't stop spending recklessly. You have no plans to bail anything out. You're sitting here patting yourself on the back over inflation. Why nobody can afford a fucking thing. You're spending, and I mean, the Ukrainian douchebag's already back asking for more, and you know we'll give it to him. Oh yeah, we'll give it to him. So I already showed you the feds are at a loss. We'll get into that. I mean, it's at a point where it's like the whole world, you see everybody backing away. No, when all the other countries aren't buying our debt, who the hell is? It's just us. You have barely any fucking demand because the only people that would maybe be interested in buying it, you made broke. Good luck. So I don't know what our government's going to do here in a little while. We'll get into that, but like I said, it's just crazy how, oh yeah, it goes right into fucking a Rockefeller Cancer Research Center from a nice one that could start up and actually help people. We just fucking steal. And then on top of it, here's another thing that's pretty interesting. So there's that new law coming out. You have 44% of single family homes purchased were from fucking equity firms. People that did not believe me when I told you guys that this shit should have crashed, these banks should have went under, and everybody already should have been fucked. But the government, because the feds can't afford, they already have $2.3 trillion in mortgage-backed securities. They can't unload. They cannot do any kind of QE and then purchase more fucking homes that they got to keep taking at a loss. And that's the thing that the government's fucked on, and the feds they're fucked on. They're already operating at a loss. They're currently operating at a loss of 125 billion, which has already gone up. Where the fuck is it? They're already operating at 125 billion loss, and it's going to keep fucking going. And it's going to keep going. So, the feds are already, I don't know what they're going to do, because they're going to take losses and losses and losses and losses up the ass again on all their assets. All their mortgage-backed securities were bought at the top. So now what did they have to do? They had to call up their little buddies. Hey, BlackRock. Well, if fucking hedge funds bought 44% of these, and that's what I'm saying. They already showed you 40% of homes have no mortgage, so they're not going to be on the market, okay? So that means 44% of the homes that were bought last year were purchased from people that can't take a loss either. So now you're going to take that off the fucking market. So there are people, you're going to find your area, and you're going to have one or two retail. They'll be like, what are you talking about? My supply didn't demand everything. Yeah, because you're also just trying, you're a salesman. Good job. Congratulations. I'm sure it's just I'm sure it's rocking right now down by you. No, it's not. There's no fucking supply anywhere. Everyone and everything talks about the housing market's pretty much fucking stalemated. I don't know where it's going to happen, because someone's going to eventually you're going to have to take a loss. And what's going to end up happening is you're going to have all these people that doing rental apartments, Airbnbs, and people that are just broke now because fucking houses are unaffordable. And that's going to be your market, because they already showed you 63% of loans, over 63% of loans were at 3% or under. They're not going to refinance. They're not going to fucking move. Why would they? It's going to cost them how many years of work they would need to go work just to do a refinance, just to go move somewhere. You would have to get a job making how much more, so it'd have to be that much more worth it. the supply's not coming. The supply is going to be foreclosures. That's it. That's what's going to happen. You're going to get your foreclosure houses, and that's, like I said, why the hell would you ever, if you don't have a mortgage right now, why would you sell your house and then go, I got to go get a fucking mortgage? You're not going to, unless you think you're going to be able to sell your old house for $440,000. That's what these new houses average, $444K. You're going to be able to sell your old house because chances are your house is older if it's paid off, or it's bought by one of these fuckers. So the housing market is going to be in a very bad place. So this is one of the reasons why. This is the only reason why. Because if you're the government now, and this is what I'm talking about, you're in a dead stalemate, you guys. That's going to be your market. That's it. It's going to be foreclosures. Well, guess what? You're going to have all of these fucking firms moving in and buying the shit out of them like these guys because they're bailing out banks because these banks cannot afford to also take all these losses. They can't take all these hits from foreclosures. They can't. So now they have to go over to these fucking dudes over here. Hey, we'll give it to you this at this price. Just pay this off. We'll give it to you this so we can take a less hit. Pennies on the dollar. Shit they would never offer me and you. Of course, they're buddies. They're best friends. They'll make it up to him in another way. They'll make it up to him in credit. Some stupid thing. They'll give it, they'll make it up to him. So this is why there's a new law coming out. And they're trying to say that these hedge funds, they can't own fucking houses anymore. Because here's the thing. They wanted to pass a bill that said, all right, because I'll show you this in a second. They want to start, as we went over before, they want to start converting those skyscrapers into fucking houses because you're not going to have, that's the problem. Here's that proves my point. If you were looking over going, hey, we're going to have all this supply in the housing market coming soon, or there's any signs of some change or anything, why the hell do we suddenly need $54 billion to try to start to convert over all these big things, or these giant skyscrapers, into fucking houses? Who the fuck wants to live on the 54th floor? Could you imagine coming home every day and riding the elevator up to the 54th floor to get home? How fucking long does that take? Going down? How annoying is that shit every day? Just elevator ride. I mean, and if something happens, you're up in the 54th fucking floor. I mean, maybe you'll find somebody that just loves the view, I guess. I mean, everybody's got their own thing, but I mean, they're sitting there looking left and right because they're seeing the same thing I'm saying. Guys, the thing's going to go off supply and demand. There's no supply. And it's like, you see realtors. What are realtors doing? Every realtor has another job now. They probably have two. And they're probably, and then here's the thing you saw the other day. It was like the CEO of, what the hell was it? Redfin. He comes out and he's like, man, now's the best time to buy a house. He says, now is the best time to buy a house. 1 week later, he comes out and says, well, it can't get any worse. Well, okay, I thought it was the best time to buy. And now it can't get any fucking worse? And then he goes, well, now it's going to get worse because now rates are going to fucking skyrocket. So it's like, dude, you've changed your tone in 3 different times because they're just trying to draw business. But that's the thing. Nobody logically is going to go into these houses. So now they're looking over like, do we fucking, well, a lot of these hedge funds, they're holding these assets like they got to hold their value. They're currently holding their value. There's no signs of the housing market slow down. So they're going to hold their value. So now I can use these as assets. We've already went over they're using fucking auto loan. They got auto loan backed securities now. What the fuck? They're trying to sell auto backed securities when there's default at the all-time high right now on auto loans because there's $700 a month for a fucking car. So now they're looking over going, okay, well, we need these hedge funds to start selling fucking houses off. So what they're going to start doing is have them sell 10% of their house. Because here's the thing. They can't let it crash. Because if they start saying, hey, you guys got to sell off all your fucking houses. Well, you just saw they bought up 44% of them. That would, all of a sudden, you would have a mass supply. And all of a sudden, Oh my God, you would fix it for. Here's the thing. Here's why I hate government. You would fix it for us, but you would hurt it for them, the rich. So they go, we can't do that. We can't fucking do that. That would make sense. We don't work for the people. We work for the guys who pay us. So what you do is you say, you guys just sell 10% of your portfolio at a time, and we'll give you 10 years to unwind it. That way, we can sit there and we can bring the housing market down and take credit and go, yeah, we look at it, the greatest plan fucking ever. When in reality, if it was like, no, you wanted to fix it, bitch, say all your houses got to go. Fuck off. You got 2 years, a year. Nope. Bye-bye. But we don't want to help the common folk. We don't want to help them. If they can own a house that helps them get away from the system, the power, and maybe their dependency on us. So we can't have that. Instead, we got to pay them. So again, they're going to slowly unwind the housing market so they can bring it down just a little at a time, probably bring it back down to an average of 400,000. They'll fucking freak out. Yeah, we're so great of a government. We did such a great job. Look, we brought it down 40K, 20K over the course of 10 years. Fuck, cool. What a fucking great job. Who cares? It's also up 8,000% from 5 years before that, you stupid piece of shit. Cool. It's just like when they talk to you guys about inflation. Oh, yeah, we're getting inflation under control. Look, prices are only raising by 3% right now. Yeah, but they're still raising, you fucking piece of shit. They're still raising every quarter. They're still staying. That price doesn't go away because your inflation number goes down. We already went over that. We need deflation prices to go down. Nope. They're still, that inflation each quarter is sticking on in. It's sticking on in. So great job. You're slowing it down at a little bit of a rate. I don't give a fuck. Prices are still out of control, and then you're doing the patent government move. Well, they're price gouging you too. No, you just give the illusion of controlling inflation like you're lowering prices. Fuck off. Like I said, it's such a scam, dude. I fucking hate these guys. But yeah, so now they're trying to do this, and if they do this, then you can have people like the feds. Because this would be the reason. There's a lot of people going, this can't pass, this can't pass. This is why this could pass. The feds have bailed these fuckers out. The feds have bailed these guys out, and they go, hey, if we can unwind our assets, we have here the 2.3 trillion. We got to unwind these too, but we can also have it at a controlled rate. This is when they can slowly unwind. Fucking son of a bitch. This is when they can slowly unwind some of their shit too, and because they got to do some QE, they got to lower that portfolio. They have to. I said that the fact that they're operating at a loss and have, dude, fuck the Jesus Christ. This is just so stupid, and it's funny because it's like, even stuff like this. You got the U.S. Attorney. They announced we're going to give out 158 million more to 25,000 more victims of Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme. That shit happened 14 years ago. And what is that? That's what, 7,000? It's like 7,000? It's like 7,000 something. Okay. So they get 7K back of the Ponzi scheme? But then it's funny because when you bust it down and you break the article open, and this is why fucking everybody wants, you know, everybody goes, why you always talk about JP fucking Morgan? What's that have to do with AMC? Everything. JP Morgan is one of the main reasons why none of anybody's gotten paid. The main criminals in all of this, they back I've showed you guys. I've showed you articles, data. They back more hedge funds than any bank in the United States. Any of them. It was thousands and thousands of them. So what are they doing? They're bailing them out with s.e.c contracts. I showed you JP Morgan in the derivatives market has 57 trillion in derivatives fucking contracts. Their exposure was like 680 billion or some shit. In risk, it was like, what the fuck? They're bailing them all out. And every single time it comes down to criminal acts.
it comes to how are they paying these guys fucking back? How are they paying these guys some of this shit back? Well, when you look at it, 2.2 billion was collected right away, okay? JP Morgan, you always see it in the biggest Ponzi schemes. We already went over their roles. JP Morgan also had to pay 1.7 billion in the Madoff scheme. In the Epstein scheme, they only had to pay 360 million. Why can these fucking cocksuckers be involved in the biggest scams, the biggest scandals, 20 tons of cocaine, backing the most hedge funds in the world, having the biggest exposure to derivatives markets in the world, watching their spoofing gold markets for 12 years, being pedophiles? Look at this. This should never happen. This is insane. This is mind-blowing. You will never see it. No one else. No other bank has this category. Nobody. None. Not one. Violation tracker. We have went over. They have paid 40. Let me ask you a question. Because this blows my mind. This should blow your mind. And this should, if anybody ever has a talk with a congressman, they have a talk with anybody in government. If you can get in front of a mic, if you can do anything, if you can ask them one fucking thing, this is what you ask them. Hey, Mr. I'm going to say criminal. Put it in House, Senator, Rep. I don't care. Just say, hey, Mr. X, criminal. Hey, criminal. When you hear this number, tell me how this is not a threat of national security. Tell me in your mind, if this happened in any other way, would this not have been dealt with? In the banking system since 2000, there has been $40 billion in penalties. $40 billion. If there was $40 billion worth in bank robbery stolen, would you guys have made that a matter of national security? Would you guys not have done some kind of law to require some type of extra provision of security for banks? Something to where if $40 billion worth are getting stolen, that's a fucking matter of national security. Why can they do $40 billion worth of criminal activities involving money laundering? Now, this is what I want you guys to look at. Look at this. You click at the top. No other bank in the world has this. None. Not one in the world. JP Morgan Chase, primary offense type. JP Morgan Chase, sexual exploitation of minors. $290,000 fucking lawsuit. JP Morgan on the violation has $290 million. That's it. They processed $1 billion in human trafficking, including children, and their offense was sexual exploitation of minors. This is unbelievable. They're operating today. Nothing happened. The arrests, Jamie Dimon is still there. Not the CEO. I want you to understand this. There is nothing going on in a company that a fucking CEO is not aware of. For Jamie Dimon to come out and say, I was unaware that $1 billion. Now think of, that's not a small amount. That's what they know of. That's just what they know of. That's just linked to the two people that were linked to Jeffrey Epstein. The Joe Stanley guy and whatever. That was just transactions through them. There could be more connections that we're not even made aware of. So you're telling me $1 billion was processed through your bank, and you didn't know that it was, as a CEO, you had no fucking clue it came from processing human trafficking? What? You had no fucking clue? On top of that, as a CEO, you were told about this guy and all of these allegations for years before this. And you still didn't stop it. You still let it process. This is fucking mind-blowing. No big deal. Your Honor, hey, Mr. Senator, hey, Mr. fucking whatever you want to say. If there was a person out there that had a primary offense of sexual exploitation of minors, can they go about their business the next day? No, and they shouldn't fucking be able to. They need to go to prison. They need to register as a sex offender. They don't just get to, their life completely changes. You don't just get to do this as a company and then operate the next day and just pay off people. Now, I want you to remember this. Before I even get into that, I want you to remember this, because how fucking crazy was this? Do you guys remember? Fucking A, where did I put it back to? I hate when I move my fucking tabs around. Alright, I might have closed it. Hold on. No, here it is. Do you guys remember? Do you remember this fucking news article in January? The governor of the Virgin Islands has fired the attorney general. You remember that? So, what ends up happening is she ends up filing a lawsuit against JP Morgan Chase, and she accused them all of this shit and wanted to file criminal charges. And they said, no, and I'm going to fire you. Months later, guess what fucking happens? Here they are in a lawsuit that they settled and paid and got charged with exactly what she wanted to fucking charge them for. So you're telling me you're fired for doing your fucking job. The removal comes just days after she filed a lawsuit against JP Morgan Chase, accusing the company of helping Epstein finance the illegal exploitation of women and children in the United States and the Virgin Islands. So remember, they paid $290 million with us, and then they paid $75 million for the same exact offense that she wanted to press criminal charges against them. And they go, nope, fuck off. And then they just go, instead, we're going to go ahead and give them a $75 million fine. Huh. Now, I bring this up too because what the hell? All these motherfuckers walk away from Elon. They all walk away from Twitter. No, I'm not fucking abdicating Elon. I'm not abdicating Twitter or whatever. I'm not saying Elon's this guy because I don't know. There's plenty of signs that Elon obviously does shady deals with these fuckers. We saw him with Ken. We saw him take money from fucking Citadel for Twitter. We know what's going on. I mean, is he on our side a little bit? Does he want certain things? Yeah, sure. I don't know. But I don't know much about him, to be honest with you. I'm going to sit there and go a lecture on it. But here's his point. And here's exactly my point. If you know, here's the thing. An athlete, a YouTuber that's super high up there, fucking a well-known figure, whatever you want to be. I don't care. Somebody super known that has endorsement deals. When you do a fucking criminal offense like this, you're gone. You lose all your fucking endorsement deals. You lose all your shit. You lose everything. Who the fuck wants to work with a fucking predator that was processing children? What worse thing can you do? Guess what? New Mexico has filed a fucking lawsuit against fucking Facebook. They're a breeding ground. A breeding ground. For fucking sexual criminal activity, predators, all this shit. The same type of crap. They're doing it all through your fucking software. And you're telling me, oh, Mark, you're the most, you got the most sophisticated fucking programmers in the world. I programmed for fucking like 5.5 years. I know what code can do. And I know is that like the type of code they're working in and the lines they can do. If they wanted to fucking stop it, they could stop it. But they don't give a fuck because it makes them fucking money. Just like it made JP Morgan money. Illegal shit makes these guys fucking money. Look at this fucking crap. Read this shit. It's disgusting. It's fucking gross. If you have a Facebook, delete it. You don't need. And here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. As a parent. Why in the living fuck do you want anything on there with your children when you know this is a breeding ground for predators? They're just fucking skating through that shit. No. People put way too much on there. Your whole life's on there. Get out that shit. Fuck them. Fuck them, dude. This type of shit is fucking insanity. But yet, they're still working with them. They drop Elon. Oh, Elon's the biggest pile of shit ever. But all of them still are on here. Just food for thought. But back to fucking piece of shit, Jamie fucking Dimon. Back to why I bring up more of the criminal activities. Why does this matter to you? Why does this matter to retail? Why does this matter to crypto? Because these criminals don't want competition. These criminals live off the criminality. They live off it. Ask Ken, who's borrowing money every fucking year, getting less and less at a time. These criminals live off it. Why do they hate crypto?
I've always been deeply opposed to crypto, Bitcoin, etc. You pointed out the only true use case for it is criminals, drug traffickers, anti-money laundering, tax avoidance, and that is a use case because it is somewhat anonymous, not fully, and because you can move money instantaneously, and because it doesn't go through, as you mentioned, all these systems have built up over many years, know your customer, sanctions, OFAC, they can get bypass all of that.
It's for fucking money laundering, criminals, drug traffickers, tax avoidance, human trafficking, according to him. Oh, and he forgot, which we'll get into in a second, terrorist stuff, I guess, now. It also it's funding terrorists. It's funding all the terrorists. We'll get into that in a second here. So, Jamie Dimon says it's used for drug trafficking, money laundering, tax avoidance, and criminals. Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan Chase, we've already went over how much they have. Oh, it's the wrong. We've already went over Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan. Look it. This guy right here. Talks about fucking money laundering, criminal charges, guy talking with securities abuse, fraud, fixed pricing, spoofing, sexual exploitation of minors. I mean, we could keep going on and on. You know there's money laundering and money laundering. I mean, I could just put it in order. I should just put it in order instead of year. Let's check it out. Let's check them out. Fixing prices. Like we said, only bank in the world to have this on here right now. Jamie Dimon is the only bank in the world to have this on there, which should have been closed down. I mean, that's what I thought firing squads for, but whatever. Let's see here. Fixing prices again, anti-competition, mortgages abuse. We're only on page 1. So this guy's sitting here fucking talking about money laundering, criminal charges. I mean, look at this shit, dude. Like, what the fuck? Okay. Banking violations, money laundering, account fraud. Yep, you should be talking about how bad crypto is. Now, what's really funny is in the post where this came out, it actually talks about it got fucking community noted. We'll talk about Elizabeth Warren here. Less than 1% of trillions of transacted annually in crypto are illicit. The UN estimates that annually between 2% to 5% of global GDP, anywhere from 800 billion to 2 trillion, is used for illicit activities and money laundering through the traditional banking system in cash. So potentially trillions and trillions are being laundered through your bank. And you're talking about crypto needs to go down because of money laundering? No, You don't want competition. You don't want them taking away your back shit anyways. Dude, it's just a fucking joke. This is like a criminal walking in. I mean, dude, it's a criminal saying that we got to stop this because these people are doing it, but I have the right to do it. I've only been charged with it. Fucking 274 offenses. 200. Can you imagine if one of us on the streets did 274 felonies? Would you be out going to your job the next day? Would your job... you wouldn't have made it out of prison. 274 violations. They paid like $20 billion in fines. Unbelievable. So then, I want you to listen to this, because before I even get into Elizabeth Warren, I wrote Senator, when I quote tweeted this, because, I had to tell this guy to wipe his lip. Oh, shit. I had to tell him to wipe his lip. It was unbelievable, dude. So, this piece of shit, listen, before you listen to this clip, because everybody, you're going to get a laugh. I want y'all to laugh at this fucking douchebag. This is the one, he's got his biggest position in his portfolio is JP Morgan stock, okay? Now listen to this guy. This was during the banking committee. So this was after he's out here going, we got to stop this fucking criminality that we do. We got to stop it. Just not for us. Listen to what he says. Now, before I continue, did you hear that? Did you see that? First thing he does is he looks down and he starts licking his lips. That's because Jamie Dimon, the guy who, runs the company that he has as his biggest investment in his portfolio, just came all over his face. So if you also notice, he rubbed his lips and he whispered, "That's really good." Let's go back in for the action replay. That's really good. Did you hear that?
Unlike some, I do not think you are crooks. In fact, you're all American companies, and I'm proud of you. And I thank you for supporting the most sophisticated and powerful economy in all of human history, and the jobs you create for Americans in doing it.
Did you hear that, guy? Can you wipe Jamie Dimon's cum off your lips, buddy? I know people think you're criminals, but I don't. I applaud you guys. What? Is that because your fucking entire net worth in Jamie Dimon's stock, the biggest fucking criminal out there? I know people think you're criminals. Yeah, because they only did, 20 billion in fines. They've only done 274 felonies. If that's not what you define a criminal, Mr. Senator Kennedy, what is? What is a criminal to you, buddy? So, you heard it, but I hope you guys, I had to replay it. I just wanted nobody to miss him. Wipe his lips like, "Oh, yeah, Jamie." And then go, "Oh, yeah, that's good." Did you hear that? That was hilarious. That's really good. Fucking douchebag. So now what's happening is they're getting over there. They're trying to get Warren. So then they go over and they get Warren. "Hey, look at all these problems with crypto." Yeah. So now what's she coming out? She's like, "Oh, it's funding the terrorists. We got to stop crypto. Half of North Korea's nuclear weapons program is funded by crypto and Bitcoin. Prove it." Okay. We got to take it down. We got to get the people riled. We got to get the sheeple riled. How do you get it riled? You guys, terrorism. They're gonna hit us with these terrorist bombs. You guys, if we don't get rid of this crypto. Meanwhile, Jamie Dimon, what did Jamie Dimon just do? Oh, he made a token. Oh, so you made your own crypto coin, you piece of shit? You made your own crypto coin that you call I hate crypto. I fucking hate crypto. It's such a piece of shit. But yet I make a token, which is a fucking crypto on blockchain that I call a token. But I'll make it a wholesale CBDC. Jamie Dimon, we gotta stomp out crypto in the competition. We gotta stomp them out so then I can make my tokenization and I can keep doing money laundering, fucking cocaine trafficking, and everything else under the sun. It's funding the nuclear bomb program. Pfft, go to a retirement home. How old are you at this point? Why are you still in office? Look at this guy. Look at, as you can see, Mr. Kennedy here, he forgot that he got some cum in his eye because he just wiped it off his face. But look, he can't even blink. It's in his eye. Wipe your face, Senator. Wipe your face, buddy. Fucking douche. Regulators catch Wells Fargo and other banks and probe over, God, it's like nonstop, over mortgage pricing discrimination. Guess what? They're racist. Like we've been showing you before. You remember how they were doing those old loans? Those old fucking, God damn it. I'm drawing a blank. God damn it, dude. Ninja loans. You remember how they were doing ninja loans? And we were showing everybody, you guys are giving fucking ninja loans out to Hispanic and black people. And they're calling them, hey, we're just giving you lower rates. No, they're fucking ninja loans. 2008 all over again. Guess what? Now they're out there saying, guess what? You guys were fucking giving out ninja loans to these fucking... Dude, I hate these banks. These fucking banks, like I said, and it's like, what do? They charge them, pay them no fine, and then they go right back to the racist shit. And then they go right back to stealing from us. Get out of these banks. If you're in Wells Fargo, get the fuck out of it. If you... it's like, dude, get the fuck out of JP Morgan, please. For fuck's sake. You're doing your part in saving the world. Because they're the biggest criminal organization in the world. And you're hurting them, you're defunding them. They take your money and they fucking steal it and then use it to steal from other people. Fuck them. Now, all of these loans, see, there's so many markets that are collapsing and there's so many of these people that I've continuously went over these offices because it's becoming... There's something that I haven't gone over that, I should have also contributed into this that I didn't take into, account before, which is accelerating it a lot faster than we thought. So you have all of these banks, a lot of Canadian banks as well, because their housing market, their real estate market's unfucking believable. Like if you think ours is bad, theirs is way fucking worse. Well, you have all these banks because everyone's defaulting. You have people up there now crashing. They're all setting hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars now, almost $1 billion, because they're going to start taking losses on those, and they're going to have to fucking recoup those. You're going to start seeing that in the United States. It's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse, because if you look over here, the one thing I said we needed to start looking for this to start changing, credit. Banking credit is just plummeted. It's now it's in contraction. It hasn't done that since 2010. Banking credit is basically almost as hard as it's ever been to get, which is what we needed. We needed these fucking hedge funds to have to all run into a corner. Well, guess what? They're all ran into a corner. They all ran into the Mag 7. They're all ran into JP fucking Morgan. And if JP fucking Morgan goes down, they're all back down the same hill and they're all backed by the same snake. If we cut the fucking head off JP Morgan, the biggest criminal organization in the fucking world, wake everyone up to how fucking corrupt they are. They're all backed under them. They're all fucking backed by them. Chapter 11s are now the highest level since 2010. Crazy. What did we just talk about? Haven't seen this since 2010 levels. You see the same thing. Now, Chapter 11s, 2010. They're flying up. Well, what's that going to do? More of these companies are going to default. More offices are going to get empty and empty and empty. More of these banks are going to take hits. And then you're going to see more of these smaller banks. They're going to go away. And then they're going to have to get absorbed. And guess what? They're going to have toxic assets, just like you saw with Credit Suisse. And guess what? Boom. More of these are going to take more and more hits. The percentage of companies facing immediate bankruptcy reaches an all-time high. Nobody can afford anything. Stocks, other than the Meg 7, are plummeting across the board. So again, people that are only focusing on AMC, zoom the fuck out quick. Look at everything but the Meg 7 and the indexes that rely on them. Now I bring all that up because now office occupancy, office occupancy is now 10th largest in the 10 largest U.S. metro area, has flatlined at 50%. So another thing that is contributing to this, other than bankruptcy, is a lot of companies now are looking over going, you know what, dude? We're able to maintain work from home. We don't need these big office buildings. We can super downsize and pay millions and millions and millions less. So a lot of these companies now that are doing work from home, they're not coming back. They're going, this is such a major expense that we could save. Why bother? We're operating just fine. Some people even operate better. So a lot of these, COVID actually had a new thing that changed, the way that these employers and all these companies are going to operate, because a lot of these guys are, like I said, they're going to look over and go, is it worth renting out this big of a property? Especially if I can have half the staff at the building, a fourth of the staff at the building, people coming in only if needed, maybe coming in for meeting type shit. You don't need these massive spaces, and a lot of these people can leave these skyscrapers, and that's how they don't go bankrupt, because a lot of these guys got to sit there and look, hey, we got to pinch every penny that we can, cut every single cost. And one of the biggest costs you can, push away is rental. And then these skyscrapers, some of these rental things that these companies are in are insane. So work from home has changed, the workforce and how it's going to operate going forward. And a lot of people love it, and they don't want to go back because think of how much money we're saving on gas, not having to drive to the office. How much miles you're not putting on your car. How much you're extending the lifespan of that car that you're spending $700 fucking dollars a month on. Who wants to spend $700 a month and have to drive it every day to work if you can prevent that? That's huge. So if they're going to make our shit, more expensive, at least help us make it last longer or give us a way to afford it. Now, one of the things that I thought was getting interesting here is if you look over here, and you can always click on the articles here if you want. I always show the source on Twitter because, like I said, I could Google it and just pull the article up, but it's like I'd rather you just show the Twitter guys so they get credit. So if you see a person that continuously has good information, you can also follow that information as well. So almost all new jobs are now healthcare and government jobs. Crazy. Two sectors. So you're basically now working for the government, or you're working for like I said, the most corrupt sector in all of fucking the United States, the healthcare system that overcharges and price gouges. And even if there is cures, you'll maybe only, that's the thing. If there are cures out there for a super fucking rich people, how would we ever know? You would never know. Because there's people that these super rich people own fucking companies. They own companies. If I own a company, I had a cure for something, and I go, I could cure everybody, but I could go cure cancer, but I'd give them $1,000 shot and I'm done. Or I could sit there and say, let me take some aspects of this and maybe cure it better, just in certain aspects, and then charge a whole bunch for the lifespan of that. Make them, that's the fucking problem. And then you sit there and watch a lot of these guys, because most of them are now owned by hedge funds. They're now owned by corrupt people because they did short and distort the hell out of the ones that were making progress. And then they stole their patents. So it makes it even harder and even harder and even harder for these guys to succeed. The people that do actually come up with cures. Exactly like you saw right here. Like we went over in the beginning of this. They sued Citadel, Virtue, because they're doing this exact shit, the short and distorting, to losing them hundreds of millions that they needed to raise in order to get their cure out. And next thing you notice, Citadel took that 100 million and made it for themselves, and then gave them shitty bonds, shitty deals. So I hate these fucking companies. And then they'll go ahead and give it to the Rockefellers. We'll give it to the fucking Rockefellers Research Center. Yep, they need it. In other words, you gave it to one of the biggest banking families. Yeah. Cool. We gave it to one of the biggest banking families out in the fucking world. Why? Did you owe them money? What was the purpose of this? Was it a tax write-off? Why did you borrow $400 million on Monday? On Tuesday, give it to a cancer research center that just happens to be owned by the Rockefellers, and started by him. The guy donated the fucking land and then gave him $3 million to start it up, which was $63 million. The fucking Rockefellers. Okay. So, again, fuck all these pieces of trash, dude. God. But again, it's like they're sitting there basically going, all right, you're all going to work under us. We're going to set the shit. Like I said, it's like the government wants you to be dependent on them. Or social assistance, healthcare. We need more people, psychiatries, because everybody fucking hates life. Well, yeah, everybody hates life because you guys make it shitty for everyone. Like I said, if you want to pull the article up, guys, just Google this. The average credit card interest rate. But I don't like. I just don't want people thinking all day long. Also, that I'm like, hey, I'm just Googling shit all day and I find all this. No, Wales poll brought this to my attention. Per Forbes, there's your source. The average credit card rate now is up to 27.8%. We already went over there's $1 trillion in credit card balance, and now you're paying at almost 28%, you guys. Think how fucking insane that is. They said the average credit was on credit cards was almost $10,000. Now imagine having $10,000 at 28% interest. You are enslaved to that credit card system. There are two ways to conquer and enslave a nation. One is by the sword, and one is by debt. United States and all the big boys and all these criminals, they enslave you through debt, and people take their lives. People take their lives from debt, just like they do from the sword. People die from both. One is just in your face, and the other's in your back, so it looks prettier. That's it. They're doing it now through every single thing. Like I said, most people, their entire life savings, their entire life worth, what is it? Net worth, everything. What is it in? It's now in your mortgage. Everything it now says 42% of people's annual income now goes into a new mortgage. 42%. If they have 42%, how the hell are you affording these new cars? How are you affording anything? Your entire basically life savings and net worth is going into the value of that house. That's it. And the interest that goes along with it. It's a joke. So, the United States is basically just enslaving everybody. You now see everybody at 2 jobs. But in the back end, because they can't steal from us, these guys are also now getting fucked and losing a ton of money. And now they're sitting there trying to sue the s.e.c. Well, we can't sit there and we can't have rules. Your rules will break us. Good. They should, because you shouldn't be in the United States. The fact a hedge fund exists is a fucking crime. The fact that market makers exist is a fucking crime. The fact the word liquidity exists is a fucking crime. You either have stock or you don't. It's supply and demand. That means it runs out. Correct? That means that eventually you should run out of stock, not have a market maker be able to use an exemption and fill a share. If it runs off supply and demand, that means supply stops at some point. It caps out, not you just make it for the fucking sake of liquidity. So, again, market makers are a crime in itself. It's fucking stupid. But then you'd have companies and stocks out there that would be in the thousands and thousands, and good. Guess what? Then those companies should be able to survive and thrive, and fucking they should have been able to come up with things. And this is why fucking you look at innovation. Look at innovation in the last 10 years. It's dead. It's stopped. It's whatever the big boys let us see, because they steal every patent coming out. So then they let us see what they want us to see and say, oh, we just thought of this new idea. No, you didn't. You just stole it. And it's been sitting in your vault for fucking 10 years. That's why innovation stops. Anytime anybody comes out with something great, needs a little financing, they fund you with fucking bonds and they take it. It's that simple. And like I said, billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions fucking go into go into cancer and all this stuff for years and years and years and years, and it's been worked on forever and ever and ever and ever, and you're telling me chemotherapy is still your best bet? Poisoning someone, poisoning it out of them. My mom went through that shit. I watched her eat away. Dude, she went from she was like 70 pounds. She was skin and bones hairless. You're telling me that she lost all of her teeth. She gotta get dentures now. You're telling me that's the best way to kid it? I mean, like I said, if there is a cure, even the thing with cancer, or the thing with China. Hey, guess what? In China, it's affordable. It's $800. But in the United States, it's 30 times the price. It's gonna be around 24 fucking thousand. 10,000 with insurance. Okay. Why? Well, I'm gonna make a video very soon, and I'm just gonna show you guys the 100% corruption, seriously, about the fucking United States medical system and how they price shit and all of this stuff and the scams and all the shit they get away with, because it's literally the biggest joke I've ever fucking seen. It is such a scam, dude. It pisses me off, dude. Pisses me fucking off. But you know things are getting bad when Warren Buffett is selling $28.7 billion in stocks. Now, this guy made a living off saying to everybody, buy and hold. Hold. This is the buy and hold fucking king. You get rich from people being impatient. Everyone's sitting there freaking out. Guys, AMC is going to get through it. AMC got through the writer's strike. AMC will have a better year next year. It will start making profits. It should start being able to pay fucking debt down. It should start, like I said, with distribution and all these other things, signing new clients, getting movies, getting production, getting to the point where they can come up with new revenue without even needing to fucking dilute anymore. That's in the near future. Just relax. Every fucking thing is bleeding. Everyone is bleeding. Including Ken Griffin himself, by getting shittier bonds and less amounts. He now owes $4 billion. Getting down, AMC's paying down by next year. Ken should be, hopefully higher in debt than we are. Fuck him. This dude is a piece of shit, and his day's gonna come, guys. His day's gonna come. His junk bonds are telling you. He's right above junk rating. He's right there. And the problem for these market makers, and next year you should have your auction house. You should have these new transparency rules with hedge funds that they're trying to fight so bad, head over fist. There's a lot of changes that are going to fucking, and that's the thing we also needed. We needed their credit to dry up, and we needed their revenue streams to get fucked. And that is exactly what happens with this auction rule, with the things that these rulings. I'll post them on the end of this video. With the rulings that these guys are trying to stop as well for these hedge funds. You got everybody suing regulators. Think of how pathetic this is. That would be like if me and you saying, I don't like this rule that this politician I don't like the law they just passed. I'm going to sue them. So they can sue the cops, they can sue regulators, they can sue politicians when they don't like the laws. Is this a fucking joke? This should be a joke. We're going to sue the people who set the rules because we don't like the rules that they're setting. This shouldn't even be allowed. This is pathetic. Any fucking judge that is not a criminal that would have took this case should have just been like, I'm going to stop this right now. You don't tell the law how to operate. You don't tell the laws what laws work for you. They put a fucking law in and you just fucking fuck off. But, criminality doesn't work that way. AMC, we should also have our chocolate and all of our chocolate line and everything in. He said in November, December, so I'm expecting an announcement on, everything fully being out there for that in the next week or two here. So we should have our alcohol going. Also, like I said, nobody wants to sit here and fucking work with nobody's buying up these treasury bonds. I just want to show everybody this. Pentagon can account for 63% of nearly $4 trillion in assets. It's like, what the fuck, dude? And this is what I'm saying. Nobody wants to take on government bonds anymore because why? You guys are the biggest piles of shit. You're operating at a fucking... I mean, everything about them says you're never going to be able to pay this back. Think about it. Think about it. How will the United States ever pay back their loans? We're not... We lose money. We're losing money. We're not putting money in the treasury. No one's putting money away in the treasury. We're not like a profitable country at this point. People are running away from us. Nobody wants to buy our bonds. Nobody wants to buy the new debt that we're trying to issue out. So if we can't gain any money, we're not generating capital, what do? Nobody's going in your repo, so you're making even less money in the overnight index fund. So as a government, everybody's looking over like, dude, you'll never be able to pay this back, and you're still spending like fucking like children. It's insane. So it's going to get harder and harder and harder for the government to do these bailout programs, to do all of this stuff. Next year I feel like that next year is the year of the apes for sure. We got fucking Planet of the Apes coming out next year. But I also wanted to do one last thing, and then I'll look at the chat, and then anyone has any questions or anything, we can go over anything. But if you guys just saw this new Netflix movie, it's Leave the World Behind. It's a little crazy now how there was a movie out, and the next, not even like, it was like a fucking week later, whatever the hell it was, East Palestine happened in Ohio. In the movie, there was a train spill that happened in the same exact town that it actually happened in real life. And it was like fucking looking over, and all of a sudden... Oh, it's my wife. I just had to read my wife's text to make sure she's alright. It was like they fucking... God damn it, what was that? They like Chernobyl... That's when they Chernobyl, Ohio. So it's just weird how one day they put a video out of the same town, the same incident, and then it happens. Well, then Netflix suddenly puts out a movie, and it was paid for by like a foundation and a company and an organization that has to do with Barack Obama. Go figure. So, that had no political agenda or anything. And then right after, the movie's about this blackout, the internet going down, and all this shit, and then literally... not even 5 days later, this happens? Blackout in Syria, nationwide power outage, just exactly like the fucking movie, internet disruption, no one has cell service, everyone was fucked. Just exactly like in the movie. It's like, okay. And then you had Klaus talking all fucking year about, oh man, there's gonna be a cyber attack by the beginning of 2025, so by next year we should have a cyber attack. And it's going to take everyone down. Just food for thought, you know what I'm saying? Like, just food for thought, my friends. But I don't have anything else to go over. If anyone else has any questions or at all, I mean, when everybody's running, suing the people who fucking write the laws. I mean, I don't do it. If I'm not worried about a law, if a law doesn't bother me, if it's going to get passed, I'm not going to go run over and sue a politician to try and fight it. So these obviously are laws that are going to hurt them. So people that think none of these matter, these are the ones that matter. That's why they're going to fucking court to try to stop them. The ones that don't matter, the ones that they write the exemptions on and water down, you're right. They don't matter. And then they pass and you don't see them trying to sue the s.e.c. over them, do you? No, they let them go because they don't matter. But the ones that are going to fuck up their business models, they will try and sue them every fucking time. And that's what we need. Less revenue, less credit, and the banks get more fucked up. And that's what you're seeing everywhere. Now, just make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure that you know these senators. Don't fucking, like this guy, this tool bag right here. The dude who just sits here and tries to blow Jamie. I mean, the fact he said that.
Unlike some, I do not think you are crooks.
Okay, then you must be a crook yourself. The only way you look a criminal straight in the eye, knowing that what he's done, and say, I don't think you're a crook, I actually applaud you, is if you're a fucking criminal yourself. So if you liked this, like I told you guys, anyone that, I don't give a fuck, red or blue, they don't give a fuck about you.
All right, does anyone have any questions at all? The only movie about the massive short squeeze, man, was but it's not coming out. It was just a GameStop, and we didn't even let. I feel like we dropped the ball on that GameStop report. But yeah, like I said, anyone that's mad right now about this offering today, I need you to just look at the bigger picture, take a step back, look at the box office, look at what we're going to do this quarter, and realize we're going to take a loss this quarter. And it was better for him to have raised it at the capital he did before they tried to lower the price down off the, hey, fucking AMC, they're losing, they're at a loss, blah, blah, blah. And then the hit piece comes out and it just gives them the fucking reason to do it. Paid off $62 million in some debt there. It says that they've paid down $440 million in 2023. But so, guys, this is the stillness for a while here. I mean, unfortunately, I feel like we're still in this for a while. AMC's, we need to get it to next year to where we're generating a lot, our profit, to where we are paying down debt. We don't need any more dilution. And these guys are fucked up, and their credit is non-existent. And we're already getting to that point. And I know everybody wants it to happen quicker and quicker, but it's happening. It's a slow fucking process. They can't just let one guy go off right now because one or two is going to set off a bomb. And they're trying to do exactly what they're trying to do in the housing market, where they're trying to give them, hey, you guys get 10 fucking years to unwind your position. Now, I'm not saying they're giving them 10 years to unwind their position, but they're going to try and do it in a way they're like, all right, little at a time, little at a time, little at a time type shit. Will it be a government type squeeze? I don't know. They're going to try and aid it to what they can, but that doesn't mean it can't hit some of these prices some of you people think. Whether the government steps in or not. I mean, they're just like they already said with the Fed. They're going to have to start letting people die. They're going to have to start to pick a stock or two. Something's going to have to happen. And you know it's fake because you're watching the Mag 7, their market cap drop. Just fucking drop these last 2 days, but nothing fucking happened. It's still propped up, and you're like, oh, okay. Like I said, it's a fucking joke. It's running on computers. The Ponzi scheme's getting fucking exposed more and more. These criminals are getting fucking exposed. These senators, these guys need to just lick it off. Jamie Dimon's still, they're fucking whining. Hey, we need a court hearing. You can't let them do all this money laundering and all this shit because that means we get less money. Less people are going to use me for money laundering. Good, you fucking douchebag. So, do you don't have any questions at all, though? I've been going on for a little while. Sorry I couldn't make it on this week, and I wanted to. I had a whole bunch of fucking, God, it was just nonstop. Whole bunch of things going on. We had car problems. I had to go pick up the wife. Little man was being crazy, dude. It was just nonstop. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. I hope you all have a good day. I'll go live as soon as I can again here. Sure, it'll only be a couple days or two this time. I'm not trying to take as long of a break there, though. But thank you guys for listening. I'm trying to get a hold of Dave Lauer. Hopefully he responded to me. That would have been sweet. Let's see if he got that good response. Let's see. I asked him again. Let's see if he goes for it. I want him to do it again. But I want to get his opinion on the new lawsuit. I want to get his opinion on the lawsuit with the market makers, the new auction rule, just everything like that. So I'm still going to try and get Dave on here as quick as I can here. So thank you guys. Have a good day. Yeah, Murphy's good, man. He's passed out right now. He's laying right in front of the fireplace. It's cold up here. I think it's like 22 degrees. Yeah, it's like 22 degrees today. Snowed yesterday. But all right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Appreciate it.